What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Mannfred von Carstein Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, after the second episode, we've captured some very important locations. Hemry and its gold mine are now ours, and Cetra and his entire faction are destroyed. The Black Pyramid of Nagash itself has fallen to Mannfred, and we will be looking to get that Vault of Nagash up and running as fast as possible, as it is a very, very nice buff. Specifically, the Winds of Magic Power Reserve plus 50 for all armies faction-wide is pretty crazy, especially for a caster, well, hybrid lord, like Manny here himself. Had a pretty great time with the battles, and I'm expecting more. Frankly, every time I run a vampire campaign, it sort of reinvigorates my love for this game. Granted, I really enjoy pretty much playing every single faction, but the vampires just hit all the right spots for me being my favorites. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, we're moving towards the Black Tower of Arcan and, well, I guess all of this territory out here before looping back around. We will inevitably get into a war with Scarbrand and with the Bloody Hands, because they both kind of hate us and they're both kind of warmongering factions, but we need to capture as much territory as we can before we do. Besides, we really want to be finishing off the frickin' Greybeard's prospectors as fast as they can. Destroy them, salt the earth, and then sink the entire continent into the sea so that no one can ever, mentions them again. Anyway, Manny, I believe you're good this turn, but I think we can move these guys towards El Calabad. Well, it really depends on if King Hakor... Actually, that's a question. You know what? Move as if you're threatening El Calabad, like, let's say here. I'm wondering whether we can bait King Hakor into moving towards El Calabad rather than the Black Tower of Arcan, which would make it easier. Alright, let's do this. Still have our territory. Alright, let's go here. And we do still want to raise another bat for Wilmar here. I believe we have 2 available to us. Yeah, alright. I think that's good positioning-wise. We still have the Tech Thief to move as well, and we have, basically no money. Tech Thief, jump to Sunken Kernark and sort of bounce between these 2 locations, I guess. Alright, come on. Failure. Disappointment, but what can you do? And... the heck? Oh. You shouldn't have this stuff. Whoops, my bad. Scepter of Stability and Scroll of Lycos. We don't need either of those because they're terrible. Potion of Healing. Very nice, Tech Thief. Very nice. I don't know why I'm praising the Tech Thief for it. Although, speaking of Tech Thieves, you guys have started to give me those names, and my favorite was, for the Tech Thieves, Copy White Infringement. There we go, that's definitely the one to beat. Fantastic name for the Tech Thieves, and then as we get more Tech Thieves, we'll give them we'll give them all the bunch of names that we have running. I should probably name some of these guys as well while we're here. You know what, let's at least name the Graveguard and stuff, and then we'll think about a few of the others, just so that the names get on field a little bit more. First Graveguard, alright, you will be Holen Wachter. Like so. Second Graveguard, how about... okay, no, that's 4 great weapons. I don't know if this one will fit. Remember the character limit, guys? Flagellant Executioners. Ah, it did fit. Just barely, but it did fit. Lovely. Assuming I spelled it right. Anyway, next Graveguard, Barrow Heroes. Alright, I don't know whether we'll keep this many shielded Graveguard in Manny's army, because he does have other Graveguard and the Sternsman and his regiment of or his legendary unit in here, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, we'll definitely have all types of Graveguard in his army, though, since he's the Graveguard Lord. Anyway, Black Knights with the Lances, you can be the Impalers, like so, and then you 2. Irregular Black Knights. Oh, white. Oh, that's perfect, too. Whites of the Black Woes. Like Knights of the Black Rose, apparently, but Whites of the Black Woes. Fantastic names, guys. This is already looking pretty good name-wise, this campaign. I mean, and you can be Knights of the Tattered... ooh, that's not gonna fit. Yeah. Tattered Banner Knights, maybe? Tattered Banner Knights. There we go. Character limit. Darn you. I don't know why they bothered with it, considering that lords can have much longer names. Why didn't the units get the lord name limit? But anyway, let's name one more. I don't want to spend the entire episode naming stuff. The Night Horrors for the Vargeists. Lovely. All right, I believe that's all we got to do. We got no money anyway, so we can skip just like real life and end the turn. All right. Let's see if King Hakor moves to El Calabad to defend it, because it is unwalled, and he might be afraid of these guys. Also, while the turn is ending, we did reach the engagement threshold, so obviously this will be a longer episode, and I'm a little bit more willing to do double episode days in this particular campaign for vampires in general. So, if we continue the streak, if we get 700, 700? What was 700? 70 comments and 500 likes, I will do 2 episodes on the next day. But obviously not at the same time, like spread out by 12 hours rather than 24 hours. But yeah, keep that in mind for more episodes and longer episodes and all of that. Mission issued, recruit an additional lord. Money. And King Halcor did move, but not where I expected him to move. Huh, go figure. He is quite damaged, though, so... Okay, we gotta capitalize on this. Manny, I would like you to move, let's say, here. Then, I would like you to temporarily go into Necromantic Ritual stance and raise yourself... Oh, we can raise 3 bats now. Oh, and we can raise more Crypt Ghouls. Ooh, and we can raise more Black Knights. But I think we can wait. We'll get another Lance variant. Because I don't know how much room we'll have for these guys. Oh, Graveguard soon. And ooh, this also means our Graveguard building should be completed. So, let's get a Fellbat here. Guess I should have done 2 Fellbats, but whatever. Fellbat here. Wilmar, you're gonna grab the bat. And, oh, that bat's damaged. Oh, the auto-resolve will probably kill off this bat, won't it? Because it's too badly hurt. Well, we'll see. And then let's get one more bat. I mean, they're cheap to raise, so we can just fill up the army with as many bats as possible. And I guess just one more. Just do it. Just do it. Screw it. Screw it, just do it. That's my motto. And go. Alright. Good. Do we need to raise anything to complete the army? We need more heroes and stuff here, and we are waiting for, well, one more level away until we get the Dire Pack, until we can replace them with the Sternsman. I think we're fine. So, switch back to regular stance. Let's declare war on these guys by asking... Let's say the Knights of Origo here. Doing more. Against the Rokov dynasty for... not bad. I'll take it. Considering we were a little bit light on cash, we'll definitely take it. And Manny, you are going to hit the Black Tower of Arcan. We'll level up and then... Oh, right, because he left it's pretty good. He didn't go to El Calabad, but that's fine. He did leave the settlement. Since we weren't at war with him anyway. You are going to reinforce, maybe second. Like so. And you go into channeling stance as well, like so. Alright, then let's do the point upgrades. I think we are going to go for Nightborn with you. And just because getting the cheaper Vargeists is really going to be nice, isn't it? I mean, I guess we don't really necessarily have to do it right now because it doesn't do anything for you, but yeah. Let's at least for now upgrade Call of the Night, because you'll probably at least have some bats. Like so, even though I think it's kind of a garbage trait, but anyway. Hey, 50%? Wait, wasn't this 100% last episode, guys? Was this not 100% before? Huh. Maybe it wasn't, I'm not sure. It was a mini patch, I don't know. Manny's holding on to his points, but these guys aren't. Ooh, loyalty never ending. I probably should have done that last turn to make the army a little bit less expensive on those Graveguard, and the Necromancer will get, I'm gonna say replenished troops. We still need that. Rest is looking good, though we will want to get Mend Flesh ASAP, but yeah. Alright, happy with that. Manny, let's hit the Black Tower of Arcan, and let's see the auto-resolve. Yeah, it's gonna kill one bat. Ugh, well, whatever. I mean, I think... Huh, but the other bats barely got damaged. And of course, this bat doesn't rise from the grave. I don't have as good luck with the dead rise as I'd like. Occupy. Too bad we don't have any kind of landmark here. Huh, we can build more bats if we wanted to. Just out of curiosity, how much do they cost to recruit? 7? No, it's too expensive. There's no need. We can just raise more bats as needed. Alright, Manny. Do we need to channel? I think you're actually okay sitting in the settlement, so we'll deal with that. Trait gained, a potion of strength. Alright, we can pop it on to... Oh, you have a potion of toughness. I guess we'll give you the potion of strength for now. Alright, we also got to give Manny the potion of healing. Alright, let's do a little bit of itemization. Potion of strength on you. Enchanted shield, I guess. Obsidian amulet, no, we put those on Necro, so when we get the next Necro, we'll do that. And then, Manny, you can lose the kit... Oh, maybe we don't want to lose this yet. Alright, you know what? Then we'll temporarily at least give the healing potion to you. We'll give it back to Manny in a little bit, but for now, we need the raise cost reductions. They're too worth it. Alright, and then you guys, I would like you to move a little bit closer towards El Calabad, since that's our next direction. And you, just try to get to that rank 12 or 10 or whatever it is you need. And then obviously same with Manny. Alright, next up, we need to double check whether we got new Necros available. We do not. Speaking of Necros, let's get copyright infringement to move down to... Wait, you failed at Sunken Kernark, meaning you can do it again until you succeed. Try again. Hey, there you go. There you go. He just needed his name. Beautiful. And I would like to see... Alright, so Kasabar, what we want to do here is destroy this Lich Yard, or upgrade this Lich Yard and delete this Lich Yard and replace it with the Black Knights building. Partly to get an additional White King, and then partly to be able to actually build Black Knights as needed. Plus, recruitment in this province would thus give us +2 melee attack and defense. Not much, but it's, well, it ain't honest work. Alright, unassigned skill points, ignore it for now, building upgrade available, and end the turn. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Alright, let's rack up a little bit more cash, and then let's raise another lord to... Hello, Arcan, what you doing? Ooh, you lost Martek, which means we really want to take that. I'm gonna say no to the defensive alliance with him, though, at least not right now. We want to try to vassalize him, so a single territory gifted to him will probably do that for us, as long as we can get the right one. And we do want various undead type units. And alright, King Hakor is gone again, but I'm willing to bet that he went down here this time, because it's his only left territory. Ooh, Top Knots has been destroyed. That's actually not so good for us, because that means Scarby might turn on us next, as he was fighting them. Tic-Tac still besieged by Wurzag. Potential enemies are closing in. Numas with negative growth. And Knights of Origo have confederated with these guys. Alright, well, we got a big pile of Bretonnians here. Let's leave them to fight while we focus on the real target of this campaign, the Greybeard's prospectors. Manny, you will... You know, I'm going to say hold off on raising more bats for now. It's getting a little bit expensive. We don't want to waste all our money on bats. And I guess you're going to go here. I would still like you in the Vampiric Channeling stance, because you're casting a lot. And you're going to hit King Hakor. Close victory, eh? Alright. And obviously we'll move the rest of these guys to reinforce. Like so. And like so. Somewhat important. Alright. And alright, do we have to fight this? I mean, it is still a decisive victory and low casualties. It is a lot of enemies, but these guys are hurt. But on the other hand, next turn we do want to move immediately here and possibly to the book, depending on how that works out. Low casualties, though. Let's fight it. Why not?
Slaughter them!
Alright, well, Mannfred started last episode, or I guess both of the previous episodes, off making long speeches. I guess he's going for a short one this time, but perhaps this enemy army isn't concerning enough for him to bother with a longer speech. That said, we still have to remember that while we have numbers, we're supposed to. Our Fellbats and our zombies, none of them can really fight any of the enemy melee units. Well, I mean, they can fight on par with the enemy skeleton warriors, but obviously not the Nehikara warriors and stuff like that. And we still want to preserve our units, and we will still have to be careful of enemy Ushabti on field and summoned Ushabti. Anyway, as Mannfred likes to do, he's going to start by annoying the enemy. Mannfred has now gotten a significant power-up in terms of his capabilities, and due to the advent of his flying mount, and thus he can be anywhere. He can spam his summons on top of the enemy army as needed, and of course close the distance and annoy the enemy with his Spirit Leechers. Enemy Tomb King is already down to a mere 10% of his HP, and due to said Spirit Leeches, and is now surrounded and attempting to escape all those zombies. Mannfred will come down and actually not bother. He'll just Spirit Leech him again and knock the Tomb King out. Otherwise, the rest of our army has moved in. Over on the left flank, we have our units of Tattered Banner Knights and Wights of the Black Woes, who are facing off against skeleton horses, and that should go in our favor. A little bit of sword and board cavalry versus sword and board cavalry, and while these guys are stuck together, we will send our ghouls to flank them, hitting this little unit of skeleton spears before turning and then hitting right back into the infantry fighting here. And the application of poison should be quite helpful here. The rest of our battle line is engaged as well, but with the zombies taking the hits, it's obviously going to take some time to do that. Oh, some nice shots of all of the undead facing off against each other under the canopy here. And I do like the support offered by our spirit hosts as they do debuff the enemy and allow our units of skeletons to fight a little bit longer. We also got to enjoy these armies working together while they can. There's probably only a few more battles to go until we start separating our armies. When Manny gets his new units, his Grave Guard, the rest of the armies can go their own way. And then Manny can go his own way. Speaking of Manny, he's defeated the enemy Tomb King and is now working on the enemy Tomb Prince here, who is already melting away and is being attacked by Manny, all the while surrounded by all of these bats, which must be really irritating. Can barely spot Manny there under all of those wings. Enemy Ushabti are trying to do a little bit of damage to us, but we are facing off against them with our Vargeists, who we have buffed with the Book of Arcane, which gives them significant melee attack increase, and then we're going to charge on in with our Black Knights with lances and barding to hit the enemy Ushabti as well. Gotta knock these guys out, otherwise they'll mince our infantry with gusto. But still a fair few of them to work through. Fortunately, because of our massive numbers, the enemy are surrounded and are having a difficult time. Here, the Nehekaran warriors are doing fairly well, having 106 kills to their names and having nearly destroyed one of the units of zombies. But they've had to work through that unit and have now to face off against the Barrow Guardians, which shouldn't have too much trouble against them. There's the summoned unit of Ushabti helping them out as well, but this is probably where the battle will be decided. And just a couple more hits and the enemy army will melt away, especially as the Manny has assassinated the enemy lord. And here he comes to help out against the Ushabti as well, as they were the biggest threat on the field. Well, I guess are. Not were quite yet. The Lord and Hero were, but now they aren't. Ooh, nice hit right into the face of that Ushabti, knocking it out with a single blow. Very nice. Once again, Manny may be just a shadow of Vlad, but he is still a consummate swordsman, so gotta give him credit where it's due. And there we go. Seems with every blow he knocks down an Ushabti, which does make sense considering they probably weren't really taking damage from our other units. And there we go, the last of the Ushabti melt away, and the last of the Nehekara warriors will be the last unit on field. I do like how they seem to be staying on field a little bit longer rather than just immediately or very quickly melting away. I imagine it's due to the stat changes that SFO does to make battles longer in general and up the HP pools, which most likely impacts the undead as well. In terms of depending on how much damage crumbling does, it obviously takes longer. There we are. Decisive victory. Nice little way to start our undead day. Alright, very nice. Quick little fight, no damage to our armies effectively, and this faction, I believe, is destroyed as well. Very nice. I really want to... Ooh, and then we got a Trickster's Helm out of that. Damn, we getting some good itemization in this early game, which is great, and it also makes sense considering, I don't know, man, he's kind of... he kind of likes that sort of thing. Anyway, the reason that I wanted to get that fight, despite it being relatively weak, is this is the last of the Tomb Kings. Until we reclaim Lamia over here, Nehekara is now completely clear of Tomb Kings. So, it'll be probably a while before we get that undead on undead action again. Anyway, Manny has leveled up to rank 12, which means he gets that practiced caster miscast base chance reduction, which we really needed since he's been miscasting a lot lately. Then the Min's Magic Power Reserve and the Arcane Conduit, of course, more spell mastery, always nice to have. We're going to go into Worthy Master to immediately upgrade the Graveguard that we do have, and one more level, and then we get Unending Ambition. Physical resistance 20% for all Bloodline units in Lord's army, huh? But diplomatic relations -10 with all factions. Yeah, but it's worth the 25 research, and we can counteract it by getting... What was it? Somewhere here. Yeah, infiltrate noble houses will do that for us, but we do have to be careful with it. Yeah, especially considering we're surrounded by enemies. Anyway, let's have love everybody else. Evasion for Kevin von Lloydstein here. Melee defense +10 is going to be solid. If this guy's losing melee combat, make him even tankier. You, Aldous von Waldenhof. Oh, you know what we can do? Wait. Let's still give you Raised Dead. We want to max it out, obviously. Let's give you... Let's see. Aldous von Waldenhof. We will change you to Aldous. Let me just take a look here. Alright, how about this? Death Archivist. That's not going to fit. Death Archivist. Aldous. There we go. Alright, some names that are between lords and heroes will go to heroes rather than lords. There's just not enough lords to give all the lord suggestions to all lords, especially as a couple of lords still have to be raised. Namely, okay, wait, let's just take a quick look here for a second. Ooh. Predator Blood Frenzy. Oh, Feral Rage, though. That's not good. No thank you. Power of the Eclipse and Black Tyrant. Okay, all quite interesting, but not what we want right now. We now have access to Graveguard with Halberds and Graveguard with Great Weapons. So, we're going to raise our next Bloodline Lord, and that Bloodline Lord will be Alamian. Why Alamian? Because... Let's just get you on field. At Bagar, like so. And we got a 3,000 gold out of that. Lovely. So, what we'll want to do is recruit immediately 2 halberds and 2 great swords. Oh, I guess we can... I'll take 2 turns. I love the fact that Graveguard are free to recruit for this faction. We could also maybe get some Border Mercs or Sylvanian crossbows on field. And when afraid of Gorst, I'm sorry, but you're going to lose your name immediately. Coming in from the Vlad and Isabella campaign, which I do recommend, as it was one of my best and favorite campaigns. Bias aside, it was a really good campaign. You are going to be Bathilda von Sinclair, which is one of our legendary lords from our community canon. Bathilda originated near to Lamia out here in the northern World's Edge Mountains. She defended against hordes of enemies in some fantastic defenses, although that campaign had a lot of really good defenses, which is kind of rare. But anyway, against hordes of enemies using only skeletons and, well, basic skeletons and zombies and stuff, basic raised dead units. And then she realized that despite being a Lamian lord, she really loved murdering things and went on a path of destruction, sort of moving down like this, just raising her way through basically half the map. She's a sort of fighting obsessed Alamian, which I kind of like. Not a blood knight though. She has a sort of Caravan of units, black coaches, mortis engines, fast movers, that sort of stuff. And if we have Imperial allies, we can put steam tanks and land ships in that army, which will be pretty neat, I'd wager. Also, this is our first Lamians, so I'd like to see what they can do. Armor plus 10, ward save and laying siege, that's kind of meh. I don't really care about the laying siege. You also have the Houndmaster one. Armor, piercing weapon damage for direwolves and fellbats. Slayer, ooh. That slaver, rather. Ravenous hunger. More healing, more hit points, more battle healing cap. That's nice. And, ooh, toxic venom, stalk, unspottable, and buffs for crypt horrors. That's not bad either. It'll be between slaver and Bogfallen, I think. She did, I believe, have some crypt horrors in the campaign last time. Certainly potential for it. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. You guys are moving towards the Great Desert of Araby now, so let's move you a teensy bit closer like so. Not gonna raise any more dead because, well, it's gonna get expensive. Although, the Graveguard are fairly cheap in Manny's army. Frankly, wait. Let me just see here. So, assuming that we get 2 more heroes in here, although only when we actually get them on the field, we'll have space for 1, 2... potentially move the Vargeists out and pop them into the flying army. 4, 20 out of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll need 10 units. So we do potentially have more room. Alright, that does mean that we probably want to get this up and running right now. The Ancient Army. Ooh, 3,000 gold, though. It's a little bit steep, game. It's a little bit steep. Might want to maybe wait on it. Let's upgrade the critical stuff here. Tarnished gold mine at Khemri, and could upgrade one of these for 2,000. At least the Graveguard are free to recruit, so we don't have to worry about that. And we'll probably want to either build a growth structure here, possibly a Balefire. Well, now we want to wait until the Balefire Brazier is tier 4, so we don't really need to build it, because that's when it buffs up adjacent provinces, which is what you really want. I think we need money right now, so let's go for the Gibbet. At least temporarily. If Scarbrand attacks us, we'll really need defenses here. I'm going to just bank on raising dead if that happens, though, and still go with the Gibbet, I think. We also need more Lich Yards, but they're kind of a waste in main territories. Frankly, the Gibbet might be as well, but we'll see. Anyway, copy White Infringement. Go and steal tech from Agrul Migdal, please. And please don't get wounded. I also want to keep an eye on Scarbrand, and another failure, but at least you're not wounded. I want to keep an eye on Scarbrand, as if he starts moving southward, or if Wurzag starts moving northward, we'll have to counteract their moves. Anyway, Wilmar, let's level you up. I don't think we'll get attacked, but who knows? Get you Call of Night. Like so, keep those bad upgrades coming. And Kadon, is there anything you need? Keep going through Children of the... Nah, you need Raised Dead. Yeah, and we'll have to save points to get Thrall Master and Lord of the Scourge, which we'll read afterwards. Unassigned skill points are good, building upgrade available is good, Manny is good. And turn. And ooh, looks like the dwarfs do have some units there. Alright, not for long. And once Mannfred gets his Graveguard piles, we'll... Hey, where are you going? Once he gets his Graveguard piles, we'll do his quest battle as well. And we also got to keep an eye on every turn on Mr. Arcan here. Minus 30 to vassalize, eh? Join war against Chevalier de Lyonesse and ooh, wait. Huh. Just joining the war against Chevalier de Lyonesse will allow us to vassalize him. Huh. Alright, well that worked out. I wasn't expecting that, but I am pleasantly surprised. Give us your money. This will probably mean the Bretonnians pretty much immediately declare war on us, but that's fine. Wait, I didn't press become vassal. There you go. Thanks, Arcan. That's more units from you. Lovely. And he is still trading with the Awakened. It's a little bit weird that the game doesn't give us a vision of the contacts of our vassals. You know what I mean? Because it feels like it should. I was going to keep these ogres around to get their stuff, but unfortunately it looks like they have to die, so gotta do what you gotta do. You guys go here. And I'm curious what we have in terms of Raised Dead here. Whoa. We basically have all the Graveguard we want out of the Raised Dead here. That's hilarious. And hello, corpse carts aplenty. Oh, yes. Thank you to whoever... No, I'm not thanking you. I'm going to thank this one. Oh, frickin' Greybeard's prospectors. Anyway, raise Regiment to Renounce, get the Dire Pack on field, and Wilmar... Oh. We need the Dire Pack in this army. Well, darn. Alright, get rid of the zombies, or not the Dire Pack, do this. Wilmar. Oh, we actually get reductions for... wait, do they count as Raised Dead? Wait. Why is this cheaper? 500, 850. If we pop you into Necromantic Ritual. 400, 680. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, fine. Let's get the Tithe here. Hey, free Razor Standards. Lovely. That's swell and lovely. And we'll take the Tithe from you. And we will take the Dire Pack. At least for now. Alright, then we can keep into channeling. Let's destroy this and head towards the Greybeard's prospectors. Ooh, we're going to suffer a little bit of attrition in this desert. Shame, but what can you do? Manny. Away. Sorry, Og. Let's see, will this kill any bats? No. I should have transferred the Tithe as well, and it actually hurt the zombies more than the bats this time. Why, game? Alright, we're obviously going to take the return captives because we really need the cash. And hello, Scabscrath. Oh, if we had one of these when we were fighting that big old line of units in... Okay, wait. And, oh, wow. That's iffy. It's iffy without Graveguard. We need anti-large for this. Too many treatment and ancient stags. We wouldn't be able to bring them down with the units that we have. I mean, Manny could probably slowly work his way through them with Spirit Leeches, but the Basties with the Reviv Crystals. Anyway, the Scabscrath really would have been helpful against the line of units that we fought. Damage destroyed. Screaming Banner. Melee attack +3, leadership, very nice. Kadon von Senkenhof? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to keep that on Manny. It does seem fairly useful. Screaming Banner. And you have that Shrieking Blade. Let's give you Scabscrath for now, but we'll trade you later. Potion of Toughness, Glittering Scales is off of you now. Let's pop it on, I guess, the Necro, because he's providing support anyway. Shrieking Blade, I don't think we care about, but, oh. Cold Sigil Sword is okay. Let's lose the Sword of Battle in the Shrieking Blade. Because we have easy access to... defense +10, not bad. We have easy access to magical damage anyway. And even easier access to cause fear and terror, the psychology effects. And you guys know I like easy access. Slaneshi giggle. Anyway, let's move you guys towards the Great Desert of Erebus for now. And march stance, I guess. Not gonna heal up, are you? Guess we could have healed up a little bit, but it's probably fine. These guys don't have enough defenders to be of concern to us. And how close, how quickly can we get here? Okay, wait. Now we can do... It'll be easier to bring the big old monsters down if we can get a couple Sylvanian crossbows, because SFO modifies them to be anti-large. Like this. That'll help significantly, especially as they're going to be vulnerable to range, if we can keep these guys alive. But we have the numbers on our side. Could build the border mercs as well, but they're a little bit expensive for Free Company style units. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Free Company. For those that watched my Karl Franz campaign, you probably got real sick of me talking about how much I love Free Company for the entire campaign. And A, Deceitful A, a very nice copyright infringement. Steel Tech. And we got this coming up next. Diplomatic relations with Empire, Kislev, Cathay, Bretonia, and upkeep production for subjugated factions. I wonder if that is also conferred to vassalized factions. Anyway, a little bit of money. Let's see what's critical. I guess we should be upgrading all of these. It is kind of critical, so let's do that. Black Pyramid. We're going to delete the Charnel Pit here later because it's a bit of a waste, but for now, don't collect income, just got to get to that tier 3 to build the Black Pyramid. Kasabar, we're not spending 4k or 3k on this yet. We do really want more heroes, though. Witherer, cooldown, hello, there we go, another Witherer, that's what we were waiting for, beautiful. That's the second Necro for the for this army. Huh. Ability Forbidden Rod, Raise Dead cooldown, Curse of Years cooldown. I just want to double check. Yeah, okay, it's the same thing. I was wondering whether there were two abilities that have Forbidden Rods, and because you have that, you can now have this Obsidian Amulet. Lovely. Alright, items looking good, heroes looking good, everything's looking good for now, but the game's gonna throw a wrench into our plans eventually. We're playing Mannfred after all, and I mean, he spent his entire life essentially on life trying to crawl his way from under Vlad's shadow, but could never really measure up. Even though he kind of did love Vlad. I mean, they did have a pretty interesting relationship. Manny kind of grew to hate Vlad and had a sort of profound jealousy of Isabella after, well, Vlad really changed when he found her and fell in love with her and all that sort of stuff. And Manny thought he became weaker because of it. Talaqua, sure. Ally begins outpost construction, technology researched, and alright, it's time. At last, to destroy these guys. You are currently at war with the Chevalier de Lyonesse. Oh, well, isn't that lovely? Join war against the Greybeard's prospectors. Oh, they're fighting Scarbrand. Well, that's quite interesting. Yes, keep being distracted. Perhaps the Lamians in our service are pitting our foes against each other, which seems appropriate. You. Went to march stance. And head towards the Black Pyramid. We're gonna get these units in and attack the book while we're here. And obviously Manny's a quest battle. There's a lot of big battles coming. Excitement, he wrote. Or said. Anyway, Denoir Rose, I believe, is next. The buff is kind of terrible, though. Let's see. Income from impression buildings, here to self-defense chance. We got the newly raised dead. Raise newly dead, whatever. There's a good reason to go through this, and it's this. Master of the Putrid Horde, but it takes 26 to get to. The Vanguard deployment for all zombies is a very considerable buff. Plus, the raised dead capacity plus 8 for zombies units means easier defenses when we need to emergency raise dead. That said, it takes so long to get to, I feel that we may want to get it. Oh, it's also 26. What's closer, but also really significant? Probably control out of Baleful Rituals. 13 turns. You know what? I'm still gonna do Denoir Rose. It's a Vampiric Corruption plus 10 for subjugated humans, and until we get more Tech Thieves, it's gonna take a while to build those. Also, as I recall from last time playing these guys, or playing Vamps, they should have some events that raise some heroes for them. Haven't seen any of those yet, unfortunately. But anyway, we could upgrade Bagar to get more money out of the Haunted Gemstone Mine. I'm a little bit worried about its position being close to Wurzag, though. But I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. 4K, though. You know what? It's too close to becoming negative. We've got a lot of armies in tow, so for now we'll hold off. Manny. Hit these guys. Like so. Then, let's upgrade everybody. Level everybody up. Alright. Unending Ambition. I know, diplomatic relations -10, but just do it. Just do it. And Wilmar von Carstein, you're going to move into Reinforce. And Kadan, you're going to move into Reinforce as well. Just try not to transform. Because of the transformation of Kadan. Anyway, max out Invocation in the Heck, it's still the most spammable thing. We need rank 15 for these and rank 13 for these, meaning at like rank 11 we need to start saving his points. Alright, now what do you got? You're rank 10 now as well, but I think we'll still want to max out Raise Dead and replenish troops before getting anything else. Alright, Manny, hit the dwarfs. Alright, it's an easy fight, but I will never turn down a battle against the Greybeard's prospectors. Go. Alright, here we go, the Greybeard's Prospectors, the most hated and worst faction in the game by a country mile. While it's a relatively small battle, I take every battle with the Greybeard's Prospectors personally, and thus we're going to wipe them out to a dwarf, and maybe even chase them down just because we can, even though we don't need to. Anyway, anyway, we're gonna set forth with Mannfred, probably get a few of of those spirit leeches out onto the enemy. And let's see, what do we, spell resistance is at 25 base on dwarfs, 40% base. Huh, that's pretty darn solid. Alright, it'll take a fair bit to work through those, work through that massive spell resistance. But that's alright, we got zombies. And we are going to summon them on top of the enemy artillery so it doesn't, so the grudge throwers don't do heavy damage to our tight formation, graveguard, who are very, very slowly still traveling towards the enemy with their move speed at, what is it, let's see, 28, it's going to take them a while to get here. 25 on the Death Archivist Aldous as well, due to the slowness of the corpse carts. Might warrant to get some upgrades later on for speed, or like items, giving us additional speed, specifically on the Necromancers, just so that they don't hold up the rest of the army. Anyway, we charge on in, but we do still have to be careful. Miners are weak, but they do have early game armor piercing for the dwarfs, which they otherwise lack in their roster, and so they can definitely bring down the relatively fragile Black Knights if we're not careful. Though fortunately the Varix Reavers at least have regeneration. Also look pretty damn cool with their, with their everything about them. Anyway, we charged on in and we will back on out, as fighting the dwarfs is a little bit of a marathon. Obviously zombies or bats or whatever, the weaker units aren't going to be able to fight even with miners, much less the dwarf warriors, especially the great weapon ones. But that's what our more important units are for. The Black Knights are showing off in this particular battle, gleefully destroying the enemy, or charging into the enemy dwarfen ranks, which I gotta appreciate. Alright. And you know, fighting the Greybeard's prospectors here certainly made me realize something. Like, we all like to hate on Mannfred for essentially ending the world, but I think there's something we might not have considered. In ending the world, Mannfred completely ensured the destruction of the Greybeard's prospectors. He atomized their bones. And you know what? Worth it? Maybe I'm all turned around on the subject after all. Anyway, the bats have arrived at last. We're going to annoy the enemy quarrelers and miners and surround them. The dwarfs pretty impressively still fighting, but yeah, we lack damage a teensy bit and do have to work for our kills. Ghouls and bats now helping the Black Knights, who have been taking a fairly long time to deal with the enemy. 54 melee attack on those Varix Reavers, very nice. Alright, and by the looks of it, the enemy army is in pretty darn bad shape. The enemy lord has lost out 2 spirit leeches, and Kevin von Lloydstein is now fighting the enemy Thane. But by the looks of it, the enemy army will shatter, and the battle will be ours. And there we are. Now, it is a settlement, so we don't technically need to run the enemy down. However, just because we can, every single Greybeard's prospector should die in a horrible death, being chased down by bats and wolves and whatnot. Very nice. Ah, beautiful. We killed them, but we will not raise them. They don't deserve to be raised. Anyway, although we could probably chain their spirits and make them suffer for all eternity. There is that. There's a lot of things to consider about how we deal with the souls of the Greybeard's prospectors. But anyway, decisive victory for us. We will occupy the place, of course, as the Great Desert of Erebus is a decent location. It gives us the secluded oasis, which will provide trade tariffs, which is good, considering that, it's only 10%, but still something. Considering we'll be trading with all of our vassals, and hey, Fencer's Blades, not bad. Barded Nightmare for Mannfred von Carstein, and what do we set here? It's a single territory. I'm going to say of Evocation of Nagash, because we will be raising some dead, and we want the additional campaign movement range. At least while we're here. Thrund Copperpot will most likely attack us, meaning Manny, I'm going to want you to leave the settlement, like so, and then you guys just sort of stick around Manny for the turn, like so. Alrighty. Bathilda, you will reach us in... Oh, it's going to take a while for you to get here, but we do need those units. You know what? Rather than getting your trade immediately, I'm gonna say go for the Restless Dead, just for a little bit of that extra movement. We should also probably give somebody those Fencer's Blades. You can have the Potion of Toughness for now, I think. Alright, and Fencer's Blades. We put the Biting Blade on you. Let's give you Fencer's Blades, although that's better on Lords who need the extra melee defense. The melee defense is already going to be very high on the nigh unkillable White Kings, so yeah. Anyway, Esteemed Combatant is for when defending. We want to max out loyalty unending for now, anyway. What else do we have? No additional heroes. We really need capacities for other heroes. And yes, we will send an envoy to the Vampire Coast, all of the Vampire Coast factions, because we want all their units. I do have a little bit of cash on hand. And I guess we'll upgrade Numos. Go for it. And we will want to upgrade Bagar, but we don't have the money for it. Black Pyramid, 3 more turns until we upgrade it and delete the Charnel Pit from here. Then we potentially could get more Necros. Oh, I keep forgetting to give the tithe to this guy. Oh, you can't reach him now? Alright, fine. We'll do it next turn and hopefully not forget. Skip Hero Not Moved? No, don't skip Hero Not Moved. Come on, Ruinous. Did you fail here at Sunken Kernark or no? Let's see here. We are at 60, 40, and 3 versus 60, 40, and 6. Alright, so we'll do Sunken Kernark then. Oh, critical failure. Damn, it was bound to happen eventually, but at least he didn't. At least he's not gone for good. How long until... Wait. Is this right still up? It is not up. I am quite tempted to pop this. Income from all buildings, local recruitment duration. We don't really need the local recruitment duration, but I want the cause terror for our units. So I think we'll do that, at least for now. Just to get it up and running as fast as possible. Effects duration is 1 turn. Oh. It's basically if you want to spam some recruitment, but we recruit Graveguard at 1 turn anyway, so it wouldn't really help us. What's up? Oh, wait. You can raise corpse cards here as well. Yeah, we gotta remember to raise all the corpse cards here. Is that a curiosity? Huh, we could have actually raised most of the Graveguard we needed here, and we'll probably fill out his army with Graveguard and stuff next turn. So, let's get to that next turn. Unsigned skill points, ignore it, and then the turn. Wait. Is there a corpse cart with Unholy Lodestone here? No, only Balefire. We want to spam the Unholy Lodestone ones. Alright, and I see a Cornate army marching towards the Bretonnians. We can ignore that for now. And while it would be nice to attack, I think Manny would focus on the books first, and if they lose a few... Oh! Huh! They didn't actually attack us. Whoa, 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 that's weird. Okay, hello, we got another event. The Black Crusade, a lost company of Bretonnian knights, remnants of a failed Grail Crusade, has wandered into your domain. They are weary and ripe for manipulation, but their honor still clings to them, like a fading ghost. Let them wander, ambush, get Knight Court supremacy, challenge their faith, gives us our 50% magic item drop chance and steelies. Revenant Host, Unholy Vital... Ooh. Let's see, resurrects dead combatants. I assume that this can only be given to... Nonetheless, I'm probably gonna get that. Missile resistance 40% for all characters. It's quite nice as well, but yeah, kill them, raise them. We said it before, we'll say it again many a time. Their shining armor and noble steeds will serve you well once they no longer draw breath. Slaughter the knights and bind their corpses to your will, transforming them into champions of undeath. Lovely. And Manny, that's for you, buddy. We might give that to Varric's Reavers, or, well, we'll see, I guess. Lose the Restless Spirit, and gain the Revenant Host. Alright, we'll knock out Thrund Copperpot, and then move back to Nicolandor here. Let's move you here. Alright, then... If you pop into Necromantic Ritual, at least temporarily. Now, we might not be able to chase this guy down in 1 turn, but what can you do? Let's lose the Skeleton Warriors, I think. I mean... I could pop them into your army to deal additional damage, but frankly, wait, with the zombies actually hitting harder than them, they're probably not needed here. They're costing us extra points per turn, which might not be necessary, especially if we want to raise stuff. Yeah, And raising is relatively cheap here, but it's the corpse carts we want to focus on, especially the unholy lodestones. Manny will have... Damn, it still costs 720 to get the Black Knights with lances and barding. We want at least one more of these units. Alright, no choice. Let's delete some zombies here. Gotta get a little bit leaner. Sorry, skeleton warriors. Somebody will have them, but for now, we don't need you. Frankly, the ghouls are kind of expensive for what they're offering us right now. You're gonna take the tithe. Alright, it's gonna be a little bit of admin. As we do this, we will raise both units of corpse carts with unholy lodestone. And we'll replace them once our necromancers in this army have their own unholy lodestones. Ghouls are great. Maybe... Okay, delete the skeletons here, keep the zombies. We will get a couple of balefire corpse carts as well for this army. Like so. We won't be able to get everything because we don't have the cash for it. Yeah, alright. Lose the ghouls, pop them into... you know what? I'm gonna delete the ghouls. We can raise ghouls easily. And yeah, they offer us some tactical flexibility, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but we need this right now. Then we will get the corpse carts with balefire, and hopefully we'll get more corpse carts here. Kadan, you have a big old line of units, so you can take the corpse carts with balefire, but we'll keep the unholy lodestone in Manny's army. Manny... We'll put these guys in your army, so that's 5 units, meaning... 1, 2, 3, well, no, ignore that, 4, 5, yeah, okay, we're fine. We're fine to get the lances and barding right now, and ignore everything else. Alright, lances and barding it is. Alright, there we go, 2 and 2, and yeah, alright. Now, can we reach these guys? And we can reach them. Right here. This might be auto-resolvable. I mean, we already destroyed one of their armies, and this is just miners, no dwarf warriors, so... go. And they won't run because their faction is destroyed. A Revenant Coast can, in fact... Huh. Why is that? I was hoping to put it on the Varix Reavers. It can go on to the Knights with Lances and Barding, but not on these guys, which is kind of odd. I wasn't expecting it would be able to go on anybody else, but that's fine. Alright. We'll take it. It's really disappointing that they can't go on Varix Reavers, but at the same time, they already have regen. Might as well give another regen to one of these guys. And the Lances and Barding do have a tendency to get hurt, so auto-resolve. Just double-check the bets. No, that's fine. Alright, and then take the money post-fight, because we need it. Wow. These guys are going to need a banner, maybe, to make them a little bit tankier. It looks like the auto-resolve doesn't like them very much, but that's hardly surprising. Treasurer, and an Armor of Destiny. Oh, Manny's gonna get a big head after all of these item finds. That's even better than the Trickster's Helm. And I guess we'll pop the... Although the Trickster's Helm feels a little bit more appropriate for Manny, lore-wise. We'll give you the Trickster's Helm, Bathilda, because you're a legendary lord as far as I'm concerned. Pop you back into channeling stance, and start moving towards Nikalandor, the Blade of Skolaril. You will get... Gall of the Night, I guess more... Post-battle chance of stealing magic items? Oh, this includes Invocation of Nahek upgraded, eh? Yeah, I'm gonna go for Lore Master, Lore of Vampires first then. I do like this though, don't get me wrong. Does this guy have items for us to steal? He does not. Alright, so it's not a concern. And you're at rank 8, nearly there to rank 10. Make those bats cheaper. Rights are good until we pop True Knight. Oh, yes, okay, that's what we'll do. Yeah, alright, I have a plan. Faction encountered Court of Libaras. Oh, hello. Huh. They're fighting the dwarves. That's quite interesting. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. High Queen Khalida easily vassalizable, eh? Now, she does have Lamia, which, this is actually really interesting. It would entail declaring war on the last defenders. Or possibly the Ironbrows expedition. The problem with Ironbrows right now is that even if they are losing... Okay, I gotta think about this, guys. Wait, give me a minute. We do want this territory, but they jump down with their armies, which ain't so great. I wonder how strong the last defenders are by comparison. We've already fought plenty of Tomb Kings, so... No, she's actually quite weak. Oh, she's probably losing against the last defenders. That's probably what's happening. We're not giving you any settlements. Alright. Join war against last defenders will allow us the vassalization. And looks like the dwarfs are weaker. We'll probably need to raise an army there. Alright, fine. Do this and the trade agreement. And if there is a special location at Lamia, what we'll do is we will... Yeah, do it. My will. And we can always betray her later and take her territory if we need it. Alright, so what do we have at Lamia? Research rate plus 10, tradable resources produced, yeah. And as I learned in my Skull Taker campaign, you can cancel vassalization and immediately declare war. Fighting Vampire Coast and Vampire counts, eh? Alright, what do we have here? Dwarf Spy, construction time reduction, construction cost, that's nice. Alright, well thanks Kalita. You can give us cash for now and possibly your units. Alright, we're gonna tell her to... Oh, we don't have the allegiance. We want her to take Resetra, not these places, but at the same time it'll all be fine. Unless... No, okay, they don't want peace as yet. Gotta watch out for their armies and maybe book one of these armies back there. Alright, otherwise I believe we're good for this turn. End turn. Let's see what they do. And don't worry, I'm not ending the episode until we've attacked Nicolander the Blade and fought that big fight. And also acquired the first of our books of Nagash. And we'll save the big old quest battle for Mannfred's Sword of Unholy Power for next episode. Ally begins outpost construction. I see no dwarfs marching upon us, but it's an inevitability. Ally begins outpost, Winds of Pain. Where is Krokgar going? Oh, he's also at war with the dwarfs. Well, that's kind of funny. I gotta keep an eye on this vassalization thing. And also, you're not liking us due to aversion and prejudice. I guess we've grown... Oh, we grow stronger by virtue of vassals. It counts as if it's our territory. You probably don't like or are not too fond of us allying with Kalita, but if we need to, we'll destroy her, / betray her. And just be nice and lawfully appropriate. Alright, one more turn and then we kid Nicolander. You go here. No. You go here. Wait. Do we have any more corpse carts up? The Unholy Lodestone specifically? No. We could get more Spirit Hosts if we want, but they're a little bit expensive considering our money problems right now. Let us then march here. March here. No, take the Vargeists. Take the Night Horrors. And they're going to be sort of a centerpiece for your army, and then you can proceed. And then Bathilda... I guess the question is going to be, where do we put the Sylvanian crossbows? We could put them together with the zombies for now, or we could keep them in Bathilda's army. There's potential for that as well. At least for now, before we split them off into another army. Alright, so you can take all these guys. 4 units, eh? Konigstein Stalkers, I guess you're out. And Dire Pack, Dire Wolves, all out. Alright, nice. And you can hold off... Maybe the Direwolves would be better in Wilmar's army because he has the beast stuff. He has the beast buffs. Give him that, but not the Konigstein Stalkers. We'll put the Konigstein Stalkers in here, lose one of the zombie units. Like so. And you don't need the zombie. Actually, wait. It's 46 per turn? Yeah, I don't think so. Alright, there we go. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Now, building, then end the turn and fight the big fight. Kasabar Bagar, we can't afford upgrading you. Let's do the Tombstone Maker's Altar. Let's start building gibbets everywhere. We need the cash influx. They're cheap and they do what they're supposed to do. We could upgrade you for another... You know, let's upgrade the Lich Yard here. More Necromancers? Yeah. Upgrade Mortis Delta, you're fine. In fact, next turn you'll go up a tier, so we'll actually get the gibbet up and running here instead. Like so. Shifting Sands, Kasabar, we're waiting for the Black Knight building, although technically we don't actually need it anymore. At least not right now, because Mannfred has enough Black Knights until we transfer some stuff. Obviously the Sylvanian crossbows are not staying in his army, but the Sternsmen are coming soon, the Regiment of Renown, so skill points, end turn, let's attack. Oh, I should have paid attention to what the dwarfs were doing. Well, if they take a few territories, they take a few territories. This is worth it. It's a Book of Nagash. We'll also have to position ourselves carefully so that our Vassal Arcan doesn't take territories that we want for ourselves. Alright, there we go. Denoir Rose is up and running. Evanescent Rift, sure. Any Dwarf armies? No. I wonder if these guys like us attacking Ironbrow. They do. That's 29, eh? Alright, we'll really need an army over there quickly. Manny, you're gonna lead the charge, of course. Let's pop you into, well, no stance. Everybody's gonna reinforce. Really, it's the lords that we want reinforcing, so... Like so. I wonder if this army can actually run or not. Guess we're about to find out. Oh, for the love of...
It is night.
Alright, there we go. And attack. Declare war. Wait, no. Point. I didn't see the point. We'll need everything here because it's going to be a tough fight. Just in case, I'm going to say evasion rather than replenish troops, because if a big old tree man or if one of these things attacks him, it's going to be a toughie. Otherwise, Wilmar, you also have a point, and let's max out those batties. Wait, actually, no. Let's get Nightborn. And get that reduction for Vargeists, as well as the Terrorgeist Shriek, which might help against the those units. There we go. 277. Still a little bit more expensive than I'd like, but getting there. Wait, did that actually reduce their cost? I should have paid attention. Oh, well, too late. Manny. Go. Ill-judged. Alright, he's not gonna run. We got 4 reinforcements, but it's the lords and heroes that are more important, and the giant pile of zombies as well. The bats will have their work cut out for them. Gonna have to try to kill those Way Watchers, but their weapon strength is actually very solid. Looks like these guys have significant buffs due to being a special army. Valiant defeat, that's what I like to see. Go. Alrighty, all life must end indeed, but this one will have to start with if we can manage to pull this off. Now, obviously, we can surround and destroy the enemy infantry, even despite the fact that they are Temple Guard and dish out huge damage and have great stats, but over time, zombies and whatnot will overwhelm them. But those single entities are going to be a big issue here, and that's why we brought our Sylvanian crossbows. Anti-large on those arrows with a bonus versus large of +10, and SFO, I believe, increases their number as well, or crossbows in general, so these guys are going to be trying to snipe those large units. And while the mortals probably not super happy to be serving Manny as they were Vlad, since they the mortals did love Vlad, but well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, we're gonna wait for our reinforcements to arrive on the field, since this is going to be a tough battle, and we're going to have to be careful and attempt to sort of divide and conquer the enemy army. Plus, we gotta enjoy all of our extra units one last time, because let's say that this will probably be the last battle wherein Manny fights with the other forces. Now that he has his other Graveguard and now that he has his other units, he can split off and work on his own. Even if he does like working from the shadows and delivering the decisive blow when it's time. Anyway, our Graveguard with great weapons are here. Can't wait for them. Hey, stop looking at the screen. It's creeping me out. Are here, and so are our Halberdier Graveguard as well. We'll probably make at least one other army that has lots of Graveguard. Technically, you're best off using Crypt Horrors in combination with Graveguard, but I don't think we'll have enough space in Mannfred's army in particular to do that, which means, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Ooh, 69, 64 stats are climbing on our Graveguard. They are getting the benefit of both the Corpse Carts with Unholy Lodestone and Balefire here, so that's fire damage, magical damage, and Vigor Mortis, which gives them a +10/+10 melee attack and defense, and the Unholy Lodestone. Gotta love all those buffs from the supportive units. Anyway, Manny has lost about 30% of his HP. He is flying around casting Spirit Leeches on the enemy lord, trying to annoy the enemy army into combat. And by the looks of it, he is going to take a lot of hits from the enemy Chameleon Skinks, as well as the enemy Way Watchers. The enemy does look annoyed enough to start moving towards us, however, and the Wild Riders will be first to the fray. As I've said, Bathilda von Sinclair, our legendary Alamian Lord, is a bit of a battle junkie, and she will charge directly towards the enemy Wild Riders. Take the brunt of their charge, and then allow our Black Knights with Lances and Barding and Varric's Reavers to flank and obliterate the fragile Wild Riders. You do have to watch out for Wild Riders because they are insane on the charge. They do ridiculous levels of damage, but they are very fragile, like all Wood Elf units pretty much. Well, all the non-Forest Spirit Wood Elf units. And get destroyed rather quickly. And even Manny moved in to land at least a couple blows. We commit a lot of units just to destroy the single Wild Rider. 2 units of Knights and 2 units of Doggos, or 3 units of Knights and whatever, and we'll chase them down and back off as best we can. Over on the right flank, we are waiting to potentially do the same thing as Wilmar von Carstein, our von Carstein Lord, has the Dire Pack with him. I'm looking pretty good while doing so, as well as 2 more units of Black Knights. Alright, looks like the Doggos have done their job. Manny will drop a couple zombies in the path of the enemy army and then continue moving forward. He's going to pop Trickster Shard as well as the Master of the Black Arts and then Spirit Leech and the enemy Lord again. And Nicolander is losing about 100 HP per tick of Spirit Leech at that rate, which is pretty darn solid. Looks like the other Wild Riders have decided to give chase to our Dire Wolves, but this actually works in our favor. The Dire Wolves will run through the ranks of zombies and Graveguard, forcing the enemy Wild Riders to get stuck and having expended their charge on both the zombies and the Dire Wolves. We don't care whether the Dire Wolves actually survive, A, and B, we can heal them if they do, so that's just fine. The rest of our army is waiting, once again, with the units of zombies there to take the hits, and all of our corpse carts waiting behind the line to support them. We will use the tried and true strategy of tiring the enemy out, especially those big ol' entities, while we cause havoc in the enemy's back lines. We saw how threatening those Way Watchers are, and so we will hunt them down, though it does look like the enemy will react to some degree and send some Temple Guard to attempt to knock out the Dire Pack and some of those Black Knights. Manny is leading more Black Knights to chase down those Way Watchers, though once again, 83 weapon strength on Way Watchers. It seems like in SFO they're more of a hybrid unit than a pure range unit, so we do have to be careful about them as well. I mean, we got 59 weapon strength on our Knights. The Way Watchers hit harder than a Knight does, so that's certainly something to be careful about. Anyway, we've taken some hits now on our zombies. Time to send the rest of our forces in. We are going to be now focusing down that Treeman with our Sylvanian crossbows. And since these big old single entities tower over the rest of the battle line, that means our crossbows can certainly dish it out. And they also have a pretty nice position, slightly elevated as they are. We are not quite fighting on the hill exactly where we want to, but it's looking pretty okay. It looks like the crossbows dish out the damage, and Bathilda helped out by smacking the tree man around, who will eventually get brought down by range and melee fire and collapse onto the piles of corpses below. Alright, nice to see the Graveguard with halberds fighting a little bit. They were originally sent to attack the tree man, but can now turn to fighting the enemy infantry. Crossbows will now change to attacking or to focusing down these basties with reviv crystals so that they hopefully don't heal each other too much. Temple Guard facing off against the sword and board variant of Graveguard with zombies helping out. We'll need to send more units here, but it does look like the Temple Guard are starting to take damage. Looks like the enemy Way Watchers are pretty much destroyed, and we are continuing to summon zombies to continue that divide and conquer that we're doing. Manny flies around, drops a unit of zombies on a unit, tarpets that unit, and forces it to be out of formation and away from the rest of the enemy army, and thus not really contributing as they're wasting their time hacking their way through summoned zombies, which is exactly what we want. Alright, use our numbers to divide and conquer this much tougher enemy foe. Manny's still down to about half HP, having taken all that damage, but has now found a unit of Chameleon Skinks. We gotta stop these guys from firing. I do love Chameleon Skinks as well, they're really fun to use. And Chameleon Stalkers as well. Can't wait to play Lizards again as well. Alright, well, these guys are now going to get mobbed by the Fellbats and whatever. Our Black Knights still running around in the background, making sure that any enemies that got routed will, in fact, shatter. Looks like most of the enemies that made it to our main line are pretty much done for. Another big old single entity gets brought down by our Sylvanian crossbows. Gets brought down by, there we go, by our Sylvanian crossbows, and they can turn their range weapons on the last Basti. There we go, balance of power at about 85% in our favor now, and it is very much going in our favor. The numbers are starting to tell, and with no caster and no artillery in the enemy army, we don't have to worry about our blobs of units suffering. It'll be interesting when we hit the Empire, and it is definitely a goal to hit the Empire and start facing off against the rocket batteries and all that stuff. Temple Guard will, of course, fight nearly to the last, and I'm sure will bring down many a zombie and such. Well, 47. And they are fighting the Grave Guard at the same time as well, of course, and our Grave Guard are pretty nicely statted up now. Barrow Hero, 66 melee attack and defense with all the buffs around them. Another unit of Temple Guard will break, and there are still 2 units protecting one of the enemy Treemen, and this Treeman has lost about half of its HP to Spirit Leech spam from Manny. And while the Ancient Steg is still fine and is currently facing off against Bathilda von Sinclair, who has sighted a big ol' enemy target. Yeah, I'm not very excited at the prospect of getting Bathilda von Sinclair, not just her signature her signature Mortis engines and black coaches, but also land ships. It'll be real nice. Plus, this will be my first time using land ships in SFO. I'd like to see what SFO has done to them in the meantime. Yeah, and it'll be hard to choose between land ships, 4 land ships or 2 land ships and 2 steam tanks, or get a Luminarch in there, or war wagons. We could probably start with war wagons until we actually get land ship and steam tank access. This will probably take a while to tech up to them. Anyway, the Ancient Steg under Bathilda's ministrations is down to about 50% of its HP. Looks like the Treeman is getting ready to break, and our crossbows and other such units have broken the last of the enemy Stegs. How's that kill count looking? 338 on these Temple Guard, but all summon zombies. Kevin von Lloydstein now facing off against the Tree Man here. Man, whenever I see Treeman now, I'm just reminded of that, for those that watch the Orion campaign, the incredible forest shot we got of the Dryads and the Treemen in the woods. It's kind of hard to describe. It was all dark, and all of the forest spirits were sort of silhouetted, and their glows were visible. I gotta get it like a separate little mini video or short or whatever of it, just so that I have it for posterity, because it was just so cool looking. Anyway, by the looks of it, with that, the last of the enemy, the Temple Guard, and the big old single entities will break, and the battle is ours. We surrounded and destroyed all of them one by one in this crater, despite the fact that they had such better units than we did, and at the end of the day, didn't suffer too much damage either, thanks to all these summoned zombies and those Sylvanian crossbows. Very, very nice. First Book of Nagash is ours, and Manny is probably strong enough to take on the other book armies by himself now, or will be soon, without needing the rest of these armies. Alright, very, very nice, and gotta admit, the Sylvanian crossbows really did help this battle out a lot. 14k damage and 6.6k damage, but only focusing those big old single entities, which we otherwise would have had a tough time against. 18k damage on one of the Grave Guard with halberds, and 14k on one of the great weapons. Alright, these two are getting names. They deserve a reward for that. Otherwise, the battle went very much in our favor, despite the massive disparity in unit quality and stats, but we had the massive numbers. And, well, granted, like, huge amount of those numbers were garbage zombies and bats, but nonetheless. Although, well, yeah. I shouldn't call zombies garbage. They're fantastic. They're one of my favorite units in the entire game, after all. And there we are, the 5th book of Nagash. Acquired upkeep minus 25% when in enemy territory, construction time reduction, local recruitment capacity, and these effects will be doubled if we get the Malevolent Museum in Castle Drakenhof, which we definitely will. Order finally. Oh, we should give these all a read in order because the books of Nagash are sort of in order, their story, I mean, so it wouldn't make sense to read them out of order, so we'll deal with that once we get the next books. Anyway, army was completely destroyed, and now we have to figure out how we proceed here. First of all, do you guys want to keep following Manny? I guess the main issue is if we face off against Scarbrand, though I suppose on the other hand, now that we have the Sylvanian crossbows, they can bring Scarby down with a range focus. I do think we need to react to the dwarfs and the war declaration there, but at the same time, we want to take these territories without allowing our allies to take them from us. I wonder... wait. Wait a moment. Volkmar, you are not at war with the dwarfs? In fact, the dwarfs are... oh, because we joined the war. Right. Wait, Volky, join war against Armbrow's expedition. I have to give him money for it. I don't know about that. Alright, what about you? Join war against Armbrow's expedition. I mean, we could do that. The problem is, once again, I think we want the gold mine for ourselves, although it is a yellow territory. I'll have to think about that. For now, we'll ignore it. Manny, you keep going this way. We'll move you towards Kofor, and we'll maybe move the other armies towards Vulture Mountain. It's defended, but it's not crazily defended. We will, however, send Bathilda von Sinclair back. She'll generate a new army and start fighting the dwarfs while these guys are here. So, move out this way. And maybe I should have gone this way. I guess it doesn't really matter over much. Also, what do we have in terms of raised dead? We can raise more bats and hello, more corpse carts, including one with an unholy lodestone. Okay, wait. We'll need Manny to raise that. Alright, so we'll do that next turn. Your mana's maxed out, your mana's maxed. Okay, you're all good. March stance. Yeah, you need... I mean, if this army is going to maintain those zombies, we could put a couple crypt horrors in there or something like that to, you know, get some heavy hitters, because otherwise this army can't really do anything on its own. Ooh, actually, speaking of this army, you really need to get that Unliving Host up and running. And in fact... yeah, you know what, let's go War of Supremacy, we'll go into Unliving Host. Gotta get the +8/+8 for zombies. And the melee attacks, that's defense plus attack. Attacks. We have to pick a new tech. Oh, and with the tech thief gone, we don't... oh, well. Speed for zombies. Now, I'm gonna say Servant Life or in Death, gotta get this stuff going. I also want to check for new necromancers, and let's see what we got here. Nothing crazy. Gotta wait for more with those with forbidden rods. Manny, we have an ending ambition. We could go for Children of Night, but I think we still want to get both Lore Master types, even though, technically, well, it'll be a cooldown reduction on Spirit Leech, and that's still quite valuable. Yeah, alright, ignore the rest of this. Oh, we should also start leveling up the Black Knights, and the 2 Graveguard that did really well, you can get names as well. Mannfred's Glory, like so. Graveguard with great weapons, Macabre Dancers. There we go, Macabre Dancers, there we go. Alright, and the rest of you are... I'll deal with the skill points later. Anyway, that looks good to me. We did get a decent amount of cash after that battle, which means we can spend a little bit more on some of our money. More gibbets to get more cash, to get more upgrades. We need more lich yards, frankly, everywhere, because they mean tech thieves, so let's do that. At least while we're not being attacked. Antok and Bagar are both ready for the upgrades. We could get our next White King up and running. by getting this thing. Or we could get a Banshee by getting the Spirit Well. It's only that it's just stupidly expensive. Capacity for Karen rates, and we can get as many Spirit Hosts as we want. It's just that they're kind of expensive, and right now I don't think we can afford a new army. More importantly, Black Pyramid of Nagash. We could switch you... Oh, I forgot to switch the... Okay. Collect income now, and then switch to Repress Mortals for that construction time reduction so that the Shady Township will start next turn, and then it'll take 18 turns to get that vault up and running, but, well, it'll be worth it when we do. The rights we can ignore, continue ignoring. Could have actually popped the True Knight buff for that to get the terror on these guys, but for now we're okay. And I believe we're good unless we want to upgrade Bagar. Let's upgrade Bagar for the gem mine. And maybe build defenses there next turn, because we are fairly exposed right now. Slaneshi giggle. Anyway, skip, and end the turn. Let's head towards the territories of the Bretonnians. Take those and then loop back around to Scarbrand. Heroic Bright, Runesmith. Okay, yeah, these guys are coming for us. I would have loved to have pieced out with them, but it wasn't necessary. I do find it weird that your vassals don't join you when you join war, but I guess it is a method of keeping your vassals out of wars if you want to do it that way. For example, we could ask Scarbrand to join the war against the... Wait, actually, can we ask Scarbrand? One moment. Yeah, we could ask Scarbrand to join the war against the Chevalier de Lyonesse, and this way we won't have to worry about the these guys taking our stuff, which is potentially good. Ooh, got another battle marker here. Not as big, though. Speaking of battle markers, you, sir. Necromantic Ritual, raise dead. You are still in the desert? Yes. Then, how many corpse carts? Alright, just the one, eh? Unless we want to raise more stuff. We could actually very cheaply raise the graveyard. Yeah, but it would be cheaper to just build them because, well, they're inexpensive to build. In that they're free. Hmm. Yeah, alright. Unholy Lodestone. Let's go here. You, sir, are going to lose one of the regular corpse carts, like so. And you're going to take one of the Unholy Lodestones from Manny here. Like so. Manny's going to transfer those eventually anyway, because they'll be replaced by Necromancers. Frankly, all of our corpse carts will eventually be replaced by Necromancers. Ooh, you know what I should have done?
Yes, my
You
lord.
can raise a few temporary corpse carts as well. They're a little bit more expensive in your army. Okay, wait. Man, they're a lot more expensive in your army. Maybe I jumped the gun on that a little bit. Go here. We'll raise your Unholy Lodestone. We'll give a couple of Balefires to Bathilda.
This night.
Yeah. Manny can't move to the Pools of Despair anyway. So he'll be fine. The Necromantic Ritual, and you will max out your mana. You two proceed here, and you'll hit the Eye of the Panther next turn together. Lovely. Alright. It looks good to me. Gotta keep an eye on the ability to raise more Vargeists as well. How are you guys doing? 27. Hopefully they're all just gonna fight the lizards while we're busy. Anyway, buildings are okay now. You've switched to Repress Mortals, which means we can build that Shady Township. And I guess stay in Repress Mortals for the additional control so that we can have that while we build the Vault of Nagash. Shifting Sands, Kasabar. We're running out of money again, but we are making money once again, so that's not so bad. Let's upgrade the Shady Township here because we want to replace the Mausoleum in Kasabar. Speaking of Kasabar, let's actually build the Cursed Fields. A little bit of money, a little bit of control. Max it out. Why not? And the rest of that looks good to me. Don't need the rest of this in assign skill points. Let's double check diplomacy because we haven't done so. And oh wow, I look at the time. All right, let's end one more turn. I have so much fun. The time just gets away from me. So I'm gonna call the episode in a second. I just want to see what happens with the end turn. And I guess we'll start the new war against the Bretonnians next turn. Looks like Rapunz is nearby, and I would prefer to actually get her defeat trade before Scarbrand kills her, because it's more research. War Fervor, well, that'll help. The Prince of Nothing. That's Manny for you. Some malignant thing dares to challenge you. A message sent from somewhere in the Grey Mountains warns you to stay away and keep to your Sylvanian slums or face the great enchanter. It shall be Ash. No thing, living or dead, should dare challenge us. Alright, there we go. Alright, with that, I am calling the episode here. Next time, we attack Rapunz de Lyonesse and probably take all her territory fairly quickly, and we will do the quest battle for the Sword of Unholy Power, which should be pretty fun. Give Manny his sword, and then start spreading our armies out to various locations. And looks like Tic-Tac-Toe will be dead shortly, and I'd say very high likelihood that Warzag attacks us with his strength rank being 3 right after, so we'll have to prepare for it. Let me know what you think about keeping Lamia around. Once again, we probably have to betray them eventually to get the Hall of Rebirth out of Lamia itself, though there is an argument to be made for allowing them to upgrade it to tier 4 or 5 before taking it, so that we won't have to level it up slowly. Yeah. I mean, really, the only thing that we want here, well, 10 research rate is fine, but eventually the research rate will be worthless as the tech thieves outdo all the tech, and then I do like the tradable resources. But anyway, it also does tickle me to have the a decent amount of Tomb Kings as allies. Plus, oh, there's another reason. The followers of Nagash are not able to build Tomb Barks, and they're not able to build some of the fun units that Tomb Kings are, because they're able to build some vampiric units instead. These guys would be able to give us access to all the Tomb King units, so max out undead potential there. So there is that. Anyway, more Vamps to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially for Threshold, for the hour-long-ish episodes, and the double episodes as well. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.